An all-new season of The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives is now streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney+.
Mom Talk has just been blowing up.
Whitney and Jen are on Dancing with the Stars.
Taylor is a bachelorette.
Saying that out loud is crazy. Like, that is huge.
But all the cool opportunities could pull us apart.
It's causing issues in everyone's marriage.
My whole world is falling apart right now. It's chaos.
Watch the Hulu original series, The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, now streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus for bundle subscribers. Terms apply.
Hello there, Stanley Carr here. You know, I love collecting music and sports memorabilia. Want to know where you can find some? I'll tell you. Go to oldglory.com. This website features one-of-a-kind apparel from your favorite sports teams and musical artists. And I can help you get 15% off of all items. Use the code WWH135. Enjoy the episode.
Welcome to Wrestling with Heart, a podcast looking at pro wrestlers giving back to their community. Join me, Stanley Carr, as I interview wrestling's hottest names who use their platforms as entertainers to raise awareness and do community service. Hello and welcome to another edition of Wrestling with Heart. This is the show where we talk with professional wrestlers and professional wrestling personalities about their lives in and outside of the ring, as well as doing acts of charity work, community service, volunteering, and spreading positivity. We're always about the positive vibes here on the show. And with me right now, I've got a very special guest. He is one half of the tag team, the Country Gentlemen, as well as the Country Joes, part of the NWA, and working various independent promotions. I am pleased to welcome KC Cazana. Welcome to Wrestling with Heart.
Hello, thank you for having me, brother.
It's my pleasure. You come from a history of wrestling royalty here, part of the Cazana family. Talk to me about your childhood and upbringing.
So, like, the way I grew up with wrestling, so, like, my earliest memory of wrestling is, like, when I'm wee little lad, probably about like six, like I don't want to say like probably like 7 or 8, where I'm in that age of where I'm just running around dad's at shows, because I caught dad at the tail end of his career. So like I'm seeing more of the older wrestler dad, the promoter, the manager, that side of my dad. But I remember, like, I don't know, I was with one of my buddies, and like I just turned around, there's this big wrestler just standing over me. Can't remember the brother's name. I just know he was huge. Apparently, I screamed like a little girl. So it's like that's like my earliest memory of like wrestling, but it's always been in my life, like in my blood, in my life. Even when my dad's like, I hate it. I hate wrestling. It's always been here. I didn't want to get into wrestling. That's like the funny story of everything. I didn't want to wrestle. I just wanted to be like, I wanted to try it, to see if I liked it. I didn't think I'd be where I am right now. I was like, I'll try it, sure, to see if like the family legacy can like live on through me, or see if I'm any good at it, because not a lot of athletes are good at wrestling. You can be a 5-star D1 commit to the University of Tennessee and you can still not wrestle. So it's like, I originally didn't want to. I wanted to play football. I wanted to be in the NFL, like every child growing up. Wanted to be in the NFL. Got to college, realized, I'm not that big as I think I am. And so I was like, let's give this wrestling thing a try. So here we are. I guess I made the right call.
Were you always big into sports as a kid? Was that something that just you were like, you had to do something, whether it was wrestling or football or basketball? You just knew it from a young age you wanted to do something in athletics? Yeah,
like I remember playing a little basketball at the my middle school I went to, playing little league basketball when I'm like growing up. I played basketball from grade school, like elementary school, all the way through high school. So it's like I've always loved basketball. I thought I was like the best basketball player in the world. Terrible basketball player. I'll say I was terrible. And then like my senior year before COVID hit, because I went to high school during COVID. When COVID hit my senior year, it kind of cut baseball a little short. Like, I didn't play baseball. I played it up until middle school, and I was like, yeah, I'm kind of done with this. So, and then I was like, but the senior year, the coach was like, you want to come play? Like, I need seniors at least. You want to come play? Sure, why not? So now I got like 3 free jerseys from baseball that I just have. So that's cool.
I'm sure that helped prepare you though, because wrestling, it's a contact sport. You're constantly around all kinds of people.
Mm-hmm.
So you really have to be, move around a lot, especially like if you're wrestling a big guy or even as a cruiserweight, you really have to be like move up and down and constantly zigzag your way essentially uh, through the ring,
Like I,
around the ring.
the way I like to answer like that is wrestling is its own different animal when it comes to athletics. Like nothing will ever prepare you for professional wrestling. No matter if you played in the NFL, no matter if you played in the Major League Baseball, no matter if you were a NBA player, nothing will prepare you for because it's 2 to 3 inches of foam, and then just plywood, like plywood or just wood boards under it. So it's like your body's not going to be used to that. And then hitting the ropes is apparently the worst part because it's like water hose and steel cable or nylon rope. And so it's like hitting those, like your sides will start bruising up. Like you see people first start and their sides bruise up. They're like, okay, well, maybe this ain't for me.
At what point did you go, okay, I'm gonna give this a shot, and now I've caught the bug? Because, like you said, you've been in this a while. You've watched it. You've been around it for so long. Was there a moment where you said, you know what? Not only do I want to give this a shot, but I'm going for it. I'm
It's
going all in on it.
whenever I was in training with Dr. Tom's class at the JPWA, I was the last class in his old location in Knoxville, first class in the new one. And so it's like we were 3 weeks at the first building, and then apparently I was picking up on stuff, obviously, like boom, 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 picking it up. And then Dylan McQueen came to town or came to train with us for a couple of training sessions. And he looked at Dr. Tom and was like, hey, I want to have a practice match with I was Kirk at the time, with old Kirk, see if the kid could actually live up to his last name. And so, like, I got in there. I was like, this is something I can do. Because I was doing stuff that, one, Doc was like, I didn't know you knew that. Like, he just didn't know. Like, he goes, we haven't went over it in class. He goes, I haven't taught you any of that. And so it's like me just picking up on it right there. That's where I realized, okay, apparently I'm really good. So I think I have a true shot. I'm only 23 years old, which people forget I am that young. I'm only 23, and it's insane how people think. I ask them the question. I go, how long do you think I've been wrestling? Like, how long? They're like Mike Mondo goes, oh, a decade at least, 10 years. I've been in the ring with you 10 years at least. I said, Mondo, I would have to start when I was 12, 13 years old. He goes, I forget you're young. You're just picking up on it really good. And so, like, I like getting that compliment too. So it was definitely probably when I worked Dylan McQueen week 4 of training, where I shouldn't have no practice matches or nothing. And he came in and was like, let's do it. And Doc said, okay. See, he's a Cazana. He'll be all right. And I think that's where I officially caught the wrestling bug of, oh, let's do this.
I had Dr. Tom on the show a while back, and I asked him the question, what's the one thing that you learned or were taught as starting out in the business that you've kind of passed down to your students today, and that's to slow down. That was the one
If you think
big
you're
thing.
going too slow, go slower. That's his famous line.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is like when you slow down, it kind of comes quick to you the more you kind of pick up on it, right? So once you like learn it at first, it becomes second nature, and you put you repeat it several times. Repetition always helps. And so by doing that, you start learning, you start growing, you start building a repertoire of moves that you're able to learn, you're able to practice, and eventually you start putting it together when you're in the ring. So for you, what would you say has been something that you go, okay, I did this, it didn't go well, I'm going to try this again and get it right this time?
I think like probably one of the moves, like all the basic moves, I feel like I picked them up pretty well, like through the basic training. And so when Doc was like, all right, or AJ was trying to tell me to do a Brad Armstrong crossbody, and it was where he's on the second rope and does a crossbody, but I was like, I can do this from the top rope. And so learning how to springboard, being a 250-pound guy, learning how to springboard from the second to the top and hitting a crossbody. When I first did that, it was an NWA TV against the Slime Balls, and I said, Sage, I've been working on this. Can I try it? Sure, why not? Let's see what happens. And so like I hit that and I get to the back and everyone's like, kid, we didn't know you can do that. I said, I didn't know I could do that either. But it was like probably that move because the first time I did it, I ate it. I ain't gonna lie, I ate it because I had this big 6'7" guy, Big L, shoot 6'7", standing on the other side, making sure I don't fall. So he's like holding over here as I'm jumping up, just in case I fall forward, I jump into him. So it's like getting over that. It's like mainly a mental block, I guess, in that sense. It's just like if you think you can't do it, you're not going to do it. So I thought I could do it, and so I did it. I kept going until I got it.
And that's that never give up kind of mantra, right? You really want to push yourself as much as you can, so eventually you're able to achieve your goals. And so starting out, what are some things that you were told, that pieces of advice that you've kind of applied to now, in addition to what we talked about earlier?
Whenever I think of advice, I always go back to Dr. Tom because he's a big mentor to me. He was my trainer. So it's like I look at him for whenever I need advice or anything. And he was always just like, the keep it simple, stupid. The KISS method is what we call it. And then he goes, sometimes you just got to make it make sense. And so we're like, okay. And then here we go. I found it. I was looking for it. It's in my head now. Damian Sandow, Aaron Stevens, ever since we got to the NWA, he's took me and my brother, my dad, the Slime Balls, Carson Drake, all under his wing. And in the back, as backstage, like our backstage producer. And we're called the Aaron Projects. And he told us the first time, he goes, it's moments over moves. He said, I don't care if you can go out there and do a 450 shooting star. If the crowd don't care, I don't. Like, the crowd don't care, nobody cares. But if you can go out there and make the crowd feel something in that moment, because people are going to remember moments over moves.
It's like that old saying, less is more. You're trying to provide people with something that they're going to remember for the rest of their lives, and then they're going to want to come back and see the next show.
Like when we wrestled Kinsey and Kylie, Pretty Empowered, the moment that they're going to remember AJ going through a table of two girls putting big AJ through a table. They're going to remember the moment of me climbing to the top rope and getting caught. Like, oh no, like we want to see where this is going. Like, get the fans emotionally invested.
Yeah, I mean, you have to get people to care about what you're doing and what you're watching, so that they buy the pay-per-view, premium live event, whatever they call it nowadays. But they want to be able to come back to see the next show, order the event, watch it on television, and wash, rinse, repeat. And so you have to really find ways to get people to watch.
That's right. Like, yeah, moments, like people are going to remember moments, and they're going to remember how you make them feel more than a move too. That's how I look at it. They're going to remember more of, these guys are really good. I just like boo. Like me and AJ have been told, you guys are really good, and it's really fun to boo you guys. And so, like, as long as we and they're like, we worked this show in Nashville, Tennessee for CCW at the Troubadour Theater. And we weren't advertised, we weren't nothing. But when we come out, there was a big pop because we made a connection the first time we were there. And they're like, oh, we didn't expect to see you guys here. Now the show's worth it. So it's like those moments like that make me like wrestling.
It's those moments where you become a fan again, or that kid in you, that inner kid in you comes out because you've heard of these guys, you know who they are, they make it to your hometown. It just makes for an incredible moment because
moments like that I love. Like I had the chance to wrestle Heath Slater in a singles match. And then the next day, right after that, I worked Santino Morella in a 6-man tag match. And like, I'm like, I watch these guys on TV, and I would never thought in a million years I would be in a wrestling ring with them. Like, me and my brother against the Good Brothers. Like, I never thought, like, seeing these guys on TV. These guys are cool. Yeah, I mean, never thought I'd wrestle them. Never thought I'd be really good friends with Aaron Stevens, Damian Sandow, with Santino, with all these people that, and like, it's just like I got my old Heath Slater action figure here, my buddy Heath, and then on the backside over here, I don't want to crawl and move all this other stuff. I got my Good Brothers action figures because I go, I've wrestled you guys 3 times. I think I deserve an action figure. They're like, well, yeah, here you go.
Now I'm sure.
Like, I was like, oh, wow, they like me. That's what my thing. I was like, wow, they like me. That's kind of crazy.
Well, once you're in the ring with these guys, you know you're making it, right? And so are they giving you pointers as well, like things to work on?
Me and my brother, we always ask because we're both so still new to wrestling. I'm only 3 years in. It'll be my brother's sixth anniversary this year, my 3rd year this year. And so we're both still new to wrestling. And we asked the Good Brothers, like, hey, is there any feedback you can give us? No, man, like the first time we worked, you guys were good. It was fine. Second time he goes, we can tell y'all gotten better. So that was a good compliment. And like this third time we wrestled, it was more of like a hardcore ECW style rules of an IWR Rhinos promotion. And it was just like, we just have natural chemistry with each other. And so it's like when those guys like that don't have anything to say to you, I think you're doing all right.
I've had people on the show talk to me about their first match. It's pretty intimidating because you're wrestling in front of a crowd. You don't know how they're going to respond, how to react. Compare that first match that you had to wrestling people like the Good Brothers and being in the ring with all these guys that are like legends.
The way like my first ever match, I don't consider my graduation match my first match, but I consider me wrestling Toby Farley, which is a big indie name around East Tennessee, like well known. That was like my first real match, and and then we haven't wrestled again for 2 years. And so I literally told him, I was like, get where you can. I want to wrestle you again because I'm 10 times better. But we were doing moves in that match. My dad didn't know what was happening. We did a superplex just to pop my dad, and Toby wanted to pop my dad. And that was it. And then what else? But my first match, I'll talk about my first one with this guy I graduated with named Floggin. He don't wrestle no more. None of my class wrestles except for me, which is usually how it goes. When we wrestled and got to the
raise the rudders, raise the sails, raise the sails.
Captain, an unidentified ship is approaching. Over.
Roger. Wait, is that an Enterprise sales solution?
Reach sales professionals, not professional sailors. With LinkedIn ads, you can target the right people by industry, job title, and more. Start converting your B2B audience today. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started today at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
Back, I was already like talking to the crowd because we did a move that we didn't practice at all. Like we did practice matches throughout the week leading up to the moment, but we didn't practice it at all until like we were in the moment. I'm literally listening to the crowd, and like my instincts are kicking in more than what we talked about before like I was even established. And so like we did like a little chop thing in the corner. I chopped him. I wasn't supposed to give him another one, but the crowd started chanting like one more time, and like people gave me props. I like looked at the crowd and like literally like hyped it up, and then did one more. And it's like sitting in that, going from wrestling people I graduated with and like going through these stages to wrestling the Good Brothers is just like, wow, I'm actually doing this wrestling thing. And I didn't think I would be. And like I got signed to the NWA 6 months after my debut. And so like my whole career I've been with the NWA, been very blessed, very lucky to be with them. And it's just one of them things like you just got to sit down and thank God for. Like honestly, like I don't have any control. Like I don't even know what's tomorrow's going to hold. So I'm just going out there living my best life, and whatever happens, happens. Like I'm not going to sit here and sulk. Like it's everyone's first time on earth, so it's like we're all in this together. But wrestling them is like just like a fever dream. It's like how I would put it. It's just, and then I never thought we'd be good friends. Like I never thought like I'd be friends with like people like Mike Knox, Trevor Murdoch, the Tom Latimers of the world, EC3, like people like that. Never thought like I would share a locker room or be on the same roster with people like that. So it's kind of like I wouldn't say like overwhelming, but when my first day there, I was just a little ring crew guy, and it was very overwhelming. Now it's just like everyone knows me. Everyone, like it's just like a family. Like NWA is just a family. Like it's really hard to get that everywhere else.
Now I'm sure your brother AJ and your dad are giving you so much positive feedback from.
You would think that, wouldn't you?
I'm sure they're proud of you because you're following in their footsteps.
The way my dad and brother look at me, they're like, he's getting praised enough by everybody else. So he needs like some constructive criticism from his own blood, like his own, like keep his head level. So it's like they do give me props every once in a while, but then AJ, who's being big brother, who always say one thing and just humble me back to being normal. I was like, okay, fine, okay, I deserve that.
Well, let's talk about your tag team because I think that's an amazing force to be reckoned with in the NWA. Your dad's your manager. He's got the rule book out. What a throwback that is, by the way, to like the classic NWA style environment from back in the day. Because it's like nobody really does that nowadays. Have like a rule book.
Me and AJ, we tell everybody we wrestle like we wrestle. And let me think how I want to phrase this. We got put in the wrong time for wrestling, but I think we're also bringing back that old school hard hitting feel.
Mm-hmm.
Like that rule book is actually my great grandfather's like rules in the rule book from 1974 when he was in NWA territory. And like those are the real rules, like every like 20 counts. And so dad's like trying to like, tell the people, they're like, that rule book's out of date. I know it ain't. Rules never go out of date.
No.
But we, again, owe a lot to Aaron Stevens because he's like our backstage liaison. I think that's a good word I can use. He's the one that we were his first project. He goes, I think we can make these guys go from here to here. And we went from here to here just based off changing our gear. And that was it. Like we already wore the cowboy hats. We already wore, the Western wear, like the vest, the chaps, and like all that stuff. But it's Aaron's little pizzazz that he adds to the flavor for us. And he's just like one of them things. And we wrestle like we're stuck in the 80s, which is something you never see anymore. So it's like we literally say we're bringing old school back. And people say that all the time, but they're not actually doing it. They're still doing the 15 Canadian destroyers, the 15 Spanish flies. When me and AJ are in there, you never see us go to the top rope. And if we do, it backfires half the time. So we try to never go up there. We just rather keep you on the ground and just pummel you, give them, as AJ would say, one of these or one of these. Just hard-hitting wrestling that fans don't see anymore.
Yeah, it's like that old school brawling that you used to see back in the 80s and 90s. I think that's vintage wrestling right there.
And then our dynamic is, the way I look at it is, I'm still gonna be little brother, the little smart aleck prick, like doing the little P.S. Hayes stuff, being a little more flamboyant. And AJ's big brother, he's gonna I'm gonna be the one talking all the trash. And the term now is rage baiting, like their opponents, and then just go hide behind Big Brother, and they're not going to come try to bully through him because he has a branding iron, and he's just massive. And so he's the big like shield to me being the little brother hiding behind big brother is kind of how I look at it.
You prefer being a heel over babyface?
Whatever pays more. I'm down. I don't. We just go out there and we be ourselves. And if they like us, they like us. If they hate us, we hate us. And like we wrestled Pretty City Express in New Mexico we beat them for the New Mexico tag titles. But we went out, we got cheered the first time. We got booed the first time. They're like, oh, then the last thing we got was, oh, we don't want the titles to go back to Tennessee. It was one of those like, yay. Oh, wait, these guys suck. Oh, we don't want the belts to leave Tennessee or New Mexico. And when we wrestled them, because Pretty City Express was supposed to be like these big heels. And they went out and they got probably a good a pop that they didn't realize that was going to happen. And we told them, we go, hey, they're going to hate us. Just for whatever reason, they're going to hate us. Regardless, we're in New Mexico, we're wearing cowboy hats. They're going to hate us. And that was like the reaction they got. And they were like, oh, okay, yeah, okay, we got it. So it's like face, heel. It doesn't, like, in my opinion, people don't know what it is nowadays. They're just going to go out there and wrestle and be themselves. And that's what I say. But I try to lean more heel-ish. Because it's easier to be a heel than it is to be a babyface. So I'll go down the easy path and, you know, let the other person, you know, be the baby face without telling them. I just go like, I'm going to be the more mean guy tonight.
You talked earlier about some of the people you've gotten to wrestle against, but who would you say have been some of your favorite opponents that you've gotten to step in the ring with?
It's hard not to put the Good Brothers and Heath up there like always. But I think one guy that's on the indies that surprising is not anywhere, and it's really surprising, is Tyler Shoup. Him and I had a probably feud of the year for like at least East Tennessee wrestling in La Follette, Tennessee at SBCW. And wrestling him is like, we're going out there, we already know each other's crap, so we're just going to go out there and put on probably the match of the night, which is going to be hard to top us. I'm trying to think of who else we've wrestled. Marche Rocket. I always put Marche Rocket up there from Chicago. Him and his partner Jazz. Jack Vaughn and Dalton McKenzie. We wrestled them at NWA Exodus up in Chicago. Or not Chicago, Ohio, excuse me. NWA Exodus in Ohio. And we've both never been invited back. So we make the joke of, we put on such a good match that I think no one in Exodus could follow it. So they don't want us back. But it's not true. It's not true. We talk to three all the time. It's not true. It's just a big joke we just have going. Carson Drake. Hard not to put Carson up there. I love wrestling the Slime Balls. Surprisingly, like they're probably some guys I'd put up there as one of my favorite opponents to always go out there and wrestle. Probably because we both, me, the Slime Balls, and Carson all got to the NWA around the same time. So we formed a little like clique in the back, and like we stay like, because we're all around the same age, we all got here together. And so it's like wrestling them is like wrestling your best friend. It's stupid easy. And you know what, you're going to go out there and put on a match of the night. It's going to be hard to follow.
Any dream opponents?
The Hardy Boys. I would say the Hardy Boys is always a dream opponent. I would love to wrestle Randy Orton as a big dream opponent. I think those two right now would be like, because Randy, I idolized him I was a big Cena kid, okay? Because grew up in the PG era, so I was a Cena guy. But then getting into wrestling and realizing, oh, Randy's like really good. I like Randy. And so like I'd love to wrestle Randy Orton. Who else? Like I think those two right now are like dream matches I would throw out there. One of them is very possible to get. It's just who's going to pay the Hardys the money to wrestle the Country Gentlemen. And then the other one, I have to make it to the other company.
Hardys, I think, would be a really good one, especially I think like because they've got the high flying style. You guys have the more brawling style. Those would mesh really well together, I feel like.
Oh, I told AJ, I said, hey, if we ever wrestle the Hardys, you know the fans are showing up for three things. We just take the three things away and they'll hate us.
Now, I want to switch gears now and talk about some of the stuff you've been able to do outside of wrestling. I know you've been very involved with doing charity work and have been active in your community. What kinds of things have you been able to do to help make a difference in the world?
Well, me and my brother and TKO Josh Turner, we are wrestling ambassadors for Wrestling for a Cause, and they're a 501c3 charity. I think it's 501c3 charity, and they help kids and families that can't afford to pay like for hospital bills or surgeries or whatever. So we are their Wrestling for a Cause tag team champions, and I'm their I think I've held every belt except for like the main title. So, but we are currently with them as wrestling ambassadors, going to all these Comic Cons, going to all these stuff to try to help Wrestling for a Cause get a better following, and to help like show people like wrestling is more than just what goes on in the ring. It's what we can do outside the ring and what impacts we can have on people's lives. Because you see all these wrestlers go to I haven't got the chance to go be a part of one of these yet, but go to the hospitals to surprise kids that are in the hospital, and I think that would be really dope to do. Like, I just love giving back to people that have paid their money, hard-earned money, to come see me or come see the show that I'm on. It's just that's what I like to do.
Yeah, that's so cool that you're able to be a part of something that you're paying it forward to these people that can't afford certain things, and being able to provide them with the tools that they can use and utilize to better their situation.
Mm-hmm.
So that's amazing. So what made you decide to get involved with that?
TKO was really one that was like talking about, hey, I wrestle at the show often. I do whatever. Was basically telling me, he goes, hey, this place would love to have you down here. If you're interested in doing it, that'd be really cool. I'm like, yeah, let's see what it's about. Let's do it. And so before I wrestled my first Wrestling for a Cause show, they gave TKO permission to put 2 belts on me, so I can help evolve, like elevate those titles, and so I can show people like this is what I'm about. This is what I want to do. And so like TKO was really the one that was like, hey, you want to like just lobbied it to me because like, I don't know if you're into this. I was like, yeah, dude, absolutely, let's do it. And so like I think this last time, their last show, me and AJ tagged and won their tag belts. And then I wrestled the Swingman, Johnny Swinger, for the TV. I didn't defend my title, I lost, but for the Wrestling for Cause TV title. And it's like, one, getting to wrestle people like that through them is fantastic, because I feel like it's them saying, thank you for helping us. And so we're going to give you somebody that you want to wrestle. But that's like, TKO was the first one to just lobby it up, and the rest is history. We've been at Fanboy, been all over doing the Comic-Con circuit, doing support Wrestling for a Cause and all that stuff.
Was there a particular event that you've been involved with that was like near and dear to your heart, that was very heartwarming for you?
We wrestled not Fanboy. We wrestled in Metrotham Con in Georgia for Wrestling for a Cause, and we were there on behalf of Wrestling for a Cause. But it was like they helped. Like my buddy TK, the guy I'm talking about, he suffered a stroke during a wrestling match, and they didn't know. It turned out it wasn't a stroke. It turned out there was a spot on his brain, so he's had to have. Right now, he got cut open wrongfully by one place and rightfully by the other place. I'll say it how it is, because I didn't really agree with them cutting him open at the first place, and the way it was just. But he's a brain surgery survivor, so that's also why I do it, because he's one of my best friends, and I'll do anything for him. But being at that show was like, because he got told he wasn't supposed to live like through the weekend. Not through the weekend. He was supposed to be like, they said he'd make it through the weekend. I don't know how much longer you have, maybe a week or two. And so it was like just being with him, and then him just beating like all the odds really like made me be like, oh wow, now I just want to keep going and keep doing this more, because like he didn't have to fight, and he was fighting for not only his kids he has, but for everybody else. And they surprised him by putting them in the Wrestling for a Cause Hall of Fame without him even knowing. So like watching him cry for that moment with his kids there is just one of those, like, I'll never forget it, but I won't tell him that. It's one of those things that I love him to death, but I won't tell him that to his face.
That's incredible that he was able to kind of inspire you to really just as a motivational tool to just really just keep pushing, keep going. And it's like life is so precious, and you want to
Yeah,
enjoy it.
You don't realize a blink of an eye or a snap of a finger, because you're not guaranteed tomorrow at all. You're not guaranteed anything in life. You're not guaranteed tomorrow. And so that made me look at life like, well, I need to take it one day at a time, but live my best life as I'm doing it.
Exactly. What is it about giving back to the community that gives you the most joy?
I think just seeing the smile on people's faces. Like, I think just seeing a kid smile or seeing like their parents tear up because we're making a moment for their kid.
Yeah.
I mean, my short, sweet, to the point answer.
Yeah, I mean, if you're brightening someone's day, I mean, kindness really it goes a long way. It really does.
It's kind of forgotten in today's time too. Like, people aren't as kind as they used to be. The way I see it, I'm like, when I hold a door open for somebody, they just look at me like I'm weird. I'm like, so this wasn't how you're raised? Like, this is just how I was raised. Like, and when I was like, I say, yes, ma'am, yes, sir, all that stuff to people like my age, and they just look at me funny. I'm like, sorry, I was raised right, guys. My bad.
Take every moment, be grateful for what you have, and just spread the joy, spread the wealth, be good to others.
Mm-hmm.
You just never know where it can lead. A lot of positive things can come out of it.
Yep.
Well, KC, I want to say thank you for coming on to Wrestling with Heart. It means a lot to me and to my listeners and viewers that are watching this on YouTube. Where can people find out more about you on social media? And feel free to plug anything you've got coming up.
You can follow me on all my socials, either KC Cazana or Cazana KC. My Instagram's KC_Cazana. TikTok is Cazana KC. Twitch is KC Cazana. I stream video games, so I would love for all that to either go to my Twitch or TikTok. I'm trying to get my Twitch up, but Twitch is stupid hard to get a following on. That's about it.
All right. Well, thanks again, KC, and you're more than welcome to come back.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
All right. Take care. This is Wrestling with Heart. I hope you found this podcast to be informative and entertaining. If you did, please hit the subscribe button and look out for the next edition.